Hello and thanks for staying with us. Compliment of the season to all viewers of the program Customs Report. On Customs Report today, we bring you some important events that took place in the country in 2024, plus other events that also shows that the Nigerian Customs Service will continue to generate more revenue for the country and fight against smuggling all over the country. Plus, more report. I am Igiseme Itinye. Stay tuned. The Nigerian Customs Service has elevated some officers from junior rank to senior ranks in the country. Officers were promoted to the next rank after sitting for examination as approved by the management of the Customs Board. The Customs Controller General has made so much contribution in the economic development of the country since he was appointed by Mr. President. Revenue generation has increased, anti-smuggling has also reduced in the area of petroleum smuggling all over the country, and other contraband items are smuggled into the country without approval by government.
These external challenges have required us to intensify our stakeholder engagement and compliance initiatives. A significant internal challenge we must address transparently is the unprecedented rate of leadership transitions within our service, the Nigeria Customs Service. The statistics that we have tells a compelling story. We saw 60% of our management team, we saw their exits in 2022. In 2023, we saw off 36%. And in this year, we have anticipated the management exit to the tune of 76%, with projections indicating another 40% of our management staff retiring in 2024. We recognize the urgent need for strategic intervention. In response, we have launched an ambitious human resource development plan that addresses both immediate and long-term needs. And this includes accelerated career progression opportunities for the serving officers, ensuring that talent and dedication are appropriately rewarded, and most significantly, we are making an historic investment in human capital infrastructure through the establishment of a customs university. This is a testament to our commitment to building a knowledge-driven service. All these initiatives, aligned with the WCO's focus on youth leadership development, complement our comprehensive talent management programs that identifies and prepares promising officers for leadership roles, ensuring the service's continued stability and effectiveness. This period of transition, while challenging, presents us with a unique opportunity to reshape our future. As we look ahead to 2025, we have crafted an ambitious yet attainable goals that build on our current momentum. We aim to dramatically reduce physical inspection rates through enhanced risk management system. Fully deployed, we hope to fully deploy our e-customs infrastructure and expand the Authorized Economic Operator Program. Our focus extends to strengthening regional integration through improved border cooperation and deepening stakeholder engagement through regular consultative forums. These objectives are not just operational targets. They are our vision for a modern customs administration that effectively balances trade facilitation with revenue collection and security. The achievement of these goals, particularly during this period of leadership transition, will require even stronger partnerships with all of you, our stakeholders, from government agencies to private sector operators. Your Excellency, distinguished guests and gentlemen, our conference theme, the Nigeria Customs Service, engaging traditional and new partners with purpose, is particularly relevant at this juncture. As we reflect on our successes and challenges, we are increasingly convinced that no single agency can effectively meet today's customs challenges alone. The intricate nature of international trade coupled with our internal transformation demands innovative partnerships and collaborative approach. The sessions that we have planned ahead promises very rich discussions on revenue collections, trade facilitation, partnerships, and compliance. Your insights and experiences will be crucial in refining our strategies for the coming year, particularly as we develop our next generations of customs leaders. I must express profound gratitude to His Excellency, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for his continuous support of our modernization initiatives. And to you, all our partners, both traditional and new, your collaboration has been instrumental in our achievements despite the challenges that we have faced. I must salute the President of the Senate, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and all distinguished senators and honorable members who have provided effective oversight for the operations of Nigeria Customs Service over the last year. Your support has been instrumental to the challenges, to the achievements that we have recorded. And to all hard-working officers and men of the Nigeria Customs Service, particularly those who have served and those who are preparing to take up new leadership roles, your dedication continues to drive our success. Like we are explaining it over a cup of tea. Now let's imagine Africa as a massive family, a family gathering. And after is a grand feast we have all been waiting for. The Continental Free Trade Agreement stands for the African Continental Free Trade Area, and it's like a gigantic marketplace where African countries have decided to tear down the invisible walls separating them. It's a pact where nations says, hey, let's trade freely, let's support each other, and let's grow together. Now, imagine your favorite local markets, but not on a continental scale. So instead of each country doing its own thing, after it's like a super group where everyone brings something to the table and we are dancing according to the music dictated by AFTA. The first is the paperless processes. Gone are the days of drowning in paperwork in customs. We have embraced digital systems, making customs procedures smoother and faster. Now, when you use less paperwork, thank you, when you use less paperwork, it means less hassles for business and ensuring a more efficient flow of goods. Secondly, we have embarked on a number of initiatives aimed at promoting trade facilitation. NCS is no longer just about checking boxes, it's about facilitating trade. Initiatives like the Authorized Economic Operator Program and the Advanced Ruling are streamlining processes, giving businesses more predictability and reducing unnecessary delays. And the third, we are building capacity for understanding the rules of origin regime. We are not just adapting, we are preparing for the intricacies of the rules of origin under the AFTA regime. Capacity building programs ensure that our officers are well equipped to handle the complexities, fostering a more conducive environment for trade. And in terms of community engagement, we've imagined a customs service that listens. We are actively engaging with the business community, the border community, seeking feedbacks and adjusting. It is not just about enforcing rules. It's about being a partner in economic growth. And when we check Articles 7 and 8 of the AFTA documents, when we look at the progressive elimination of import duties, These are some of the objectives of AFTA, and these are some of the things we want to achieve by bringing in some of the reforms that I've mentioned. All of this sounds rosy, but we could have some hurdles, we could have some challenges. A number of things can go wrong, starting from our bumpy road of infrastructure. When we look at the potholes on our road, we appreciate the infrastructure challenge. From power outages to uneven roads, our infrastructure needs a tune-up. It's not just about convenience. It is a roadblock. It constitutes a roadblock to efficient business operations. But we know that the current administration of President Ahmed Tinubu has clearly identified the upgrade of infrastructure around the border and the port area in his policy trust documents, and we look eagerly towards those implementation. I'm aware that during those last sets of seizures, there was some kind of contact with Turkish authorities to see what we can do. What the World Customs Organization encourages in this kind of situation is a kind of a customs-to-customs cooperation through an instrument of cooperation between us, so that it will allow us to exchange intelligence, it will allow us to exchange information, best practices. Particularly, it will also enable us to have access to data that can help us in investigation. And I can assure you that since the saga of Onne started, we have kick-started this operation. And it might be desirable for us to go to Turkey, but we don't really need to get into Turkey even before we start our process of investigation. Don't also forget that Turkey is a democratic state that has an embassy and is well represented in Nigeria. So we will be engaging with their mission in Nigeria to see how we can get as much information as possible. Let me also announce that I was involved as a younger officer in the plan to consummate a mutual administrative agreement in customs matters with the Customs Administration of Turkey. We left off that process at a stage, and I can assure us that what has happened now has created the opportunity for us to revisit that and possibly fast-track the conclusion of that agreement so that we can finalize it and leverage the provisions to get everything that we need. Our process has the capacity to enable us to do some system-based audits. So we can track a number of things. We can track the importers, we can profile the agents, we can know what they have done before now, we can know what they are putting in our system next. So, the system is so robust that at least we can do all the preliminary data that can give us very credible leads, to get across to all of these people. And it is our hope that when we get those information, the agencies that has the mandate to conduct investigation and prosecution will have had enough materials that they will use to ensure successful prosecution. So I would just say at this stage, fingers crossed. We already have, somebody in our custody, and he may have also started to sink for us. So we were on display just behind us are 12 containers of illicit drugs, illicit goods intercepted through a combination of intelligence gathering, the product of interagency collaboration, and meticulous physical examination. The seizures on display include 1, a 40-footer container of 4,800 pairs of military/paramilitary camouflage rain boots and 67,320 pairs of various rubber footwear with a total duty paid value. All these interventions have a duty paid value of a staggering 31 billion 200,688,142 naira. In collaboration with other security agencies, we bring the full weight of the law upon anyone, any company, any entity, whether they are in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, found complicit in this crime. Attempted to be more professional in what we have done. Some 11 months down the line, we have started reaping the harvests of these attempts. Our revenue is going up. The numbers have been very good. In 2023, we recorded some 30% increase above what we targeted to collect. We had a higher level of target in 2024, and by the Q1 of 2024, indications are beginning to show that we will also show a very good account of ourselves by the end of the year. Our smuggling performance has also not been very, very bad. Even if you have reasons to doubt some of the numbers, we have made smuggling a very tough business for those stakeholders who still invest in smuggling. We've launched a number of trade facilitation tools to ensure that we register the names of Nigerian Customs Service amongst customs administrations that are implementing trade facilitation tools and solutions. However, we cannot completely beat our chest and say we have done all we can if what we are doing does not directly impact on the environment where we serve. The environment we serve is the Nigerian society, and there are lots of issues besetting the average Nigerian currently. In the first quarter of 2024, we all witnessed the acute food shortage occasioned by the fluctuations in the exchange rates and a number of other factors.
Also at the meeting, a former controller in charge of FOU Zone A has this to say to the officers present at the meeting.
However, development in our neighboring countries has tended to show that despite the fact that we have removed subsidy, despite the fact that fuel in Nigeria now sells around 700 naira per liter, it is not enough to deal with the problem of sufficiency in our local markets. And this is why sometimes we still have some situations where fuel is not available, where there are queues and things like that. The questions have been, the fuel that is brought to Nigeria, are we really getting the full consumptions of those fuel? Are we really consuming all that is imported into Nigeria? And there are two major indicators that will give us an indication whether that is correct or not. The first indication is if we compare the price per liter in our neighboring countries. Well, we do know that in Niger, there is some development of the petroleum industry, so they do have some local supply. But if we take our neighbors in the western and the eastern part, in Benin, a liter of oil still sells for about 1,600 liters. And that's already more than double the amount it is sold in Nigeria. In Cameroon, our eastern neighbor, fuel is sold for almost 2,000 naira per liter. I don't know how many of you followed the development that when in Cameroon, following the announcement of the removal of subsidy, that there was a general demonstration of the citizens protesting what is happening in Nigeria. So that development has shown you
that there is still that incentive to smuggle fuel from places where it is lesser sold to places where they are more expensive. It is not rocket science. And what is the second indicator? The second indicator is when we look at our data of seizure of PMS, particularly from January 2023 and January 2024, there is a progressive reduction in the number of seizures and interceptions by the Nigerian Customs Service.
In the first quarter, NCS demonstrated remarkable performance in revenue collection. Total revenue collected during this period amounted to 1 trillion naira, 347 billion, 675 million, 608,972.75 kobo. The collection for the first quarter represents a substantial increase of 122.35% when we compare it to the same period last year, where we collected a total of 606 billion, 119 million, 935,146 naira. When we do a month-by-month analysis, it further illustrates our impressive growth trajectory. In January 2024, revenue collection surged by 95.6% when we compare it to what we recorded in January 2023. This upward trend continues until March, and we are going to give you the real figures at the end of this briefing. Now, when we relate this to federal government's annual revenue target of 5.07 trillion for the NCS in 2024, the target translates to a monthly revenue target of 423 billion. We are pleased to report an average monthly revenue growth by 6.2% over the set monthly target and a cumulative revenue collection of 18.6% equivalent to 78 billion 675 million 608,972.75 over and above the target of 1.2 trillion for the first quarter.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Nigerian Customs Service has accepted petroleum products brought into the country through SACS through the unapproved route. The commandant of the operation said that the operation took place on New Year Day in the country. He also said the Nigerian Customs Service will make sure that any petroleum products smuggled into the country, the owners, alongside with the consignment, will be seized by government.
PMS products dropped in training college by Operation Wild Wind Zone A. There are 61 bags of PMS, each containing 100 liters of PMS products, intercepted at Badagry waterside. Also, a PMS product intercepted in Ogun State along Imeko and Ilaro axis.
At FOU Zone A, we are not relenting in policing our borders and the environment. And it's in the course of this that we got our credible intelligence that some unscrupulous elements were trying to bring in or smuggle in some foreign parboiled rice through the border axis, including our water territory. And precisely They went ahead with their business and were able to intercept them. We don't know the exact figure in terms of quantity, but we know it's over 2,000 bags because, as you know, we are just coming in. We have to do physical counting. But in order to relieve you of your agitation to know why we are here, that's the reason for this press conference. After the physical counting and the rest, in the new year, we'll let you know the details. We were not able to get anybody arrested because the mail they cited us, everybody disappeared as usual. And I'm happy to tell you that all these consignments were brought here without firing a single shot at anybody. It was peaceful, peacefully evacuated to our headquarters here. And we cannot stop without commending the assistance being given to us by Nigerian Army, 9th Mechanized Brigade, under Brigadier General Matthew Yekola, who is always ready to assist Nigeria Customs Service.
Just before I round up this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where the Contractor of Customs has continued to generate more revenue for the country alongside the war against smuggling of contraband items in and outside the country. For me, Igiseme Itinye, thanks for watching.